Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor. The Daily Compliance News for January 31, 2023. Yes, it's the last day of the first month of 2023. The company that bribed the world edition. We begin with that story with Saman Ashani, one of 2 executive officers of Unaoil who were arrested by the United States Department of Justice and thereafter cooperated, is scheduled to be sentenced for his role in a massive worldwide bribery scam and scandal facilitated through his company, Unaoil. That's, of course, the company that tried to bribe the world. He and his brother cut a deal with the Americans, much to the dismay of the United Kingdom and the Serious Fraud Office. And you have to wonder how much damage that action taken by the US DOJ hurt in its overall relationship with the Serious Fraud Office. Nevertheless, going to be sentenced and has a maximum of 5 years based upon his cooperation. Will probably get a significant amount less. Next up, the U.S. Third Circuit Court of Appeal rejected Johnson & Johnson's attempt to offload bankruptcy, thousands of lawsuits over its talc powder products. J&J placed a non-financial distressed subsidiary into bankruptcy in a process known as the Texas two-step, which is a fraudulent process for getting rid of lawsuit claims in bankruptcy. The Third Circuit saw for what it was worth and threw it back out. Now Johnson & Johnson will have to face regular old people with regular old lawsuits. In an interesting article next up from the BBC, it appears that a subgroup of Tesla owners are becoming extremely uncomfortable with driving their cars because the brand is so associated with Elon Musk. Of course, Musk has gone off the deep end with his right-wing magma hat-wearing rantings on Twitter, and the people who own his cars are now becoming concerned that his tarnished image is implicating them in believing the same or similar things. So it's interesting that when your brand is so associated with one individual, even though they're doing something in a different corporation, it can so negatively impact you. Of course, it's Elon Musk, so he doesn't care. He's already got their money. Finally, from the New York Times, Manhattan prosecutors are going to present evidence to a grand jury about former President Trump's role in paying hush money to porn star Stormy Daniels during his 2016 presidential campaign, laying the groundwork for potential criminal charges against the former president. The grand jury will hear testimony to begin soon from the New York District Attorney General, Alvin Bragg. And finally, a quick tribute to Bobby Hull. Until the great one, Wayne Gretzky, the highest scorer in NHL history, played 3 years in Houston. Loved that. Farewell, Bobby Hull. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.